Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and many of you have been asking for a long-term review of my Series 4 Apple Watch. And as recent as a previous video where I did the iPhone 11 Pro Max 6 months later, people were asking again for a long-term review of this Series 4 watch. Now, I don't use the Series 5 watch. I did review it. I had the titanium version. I decided it wasn't worth keeping because I prefer this one for a couple of reasons. One of them is the Series 4 doesn't have an always-on display. And the always-on display sounds nice, but it drains so much battery that it rarely got me through a day, or maybe it would get me through a day. On this, I easily get through a day and a half or 2 days without a problem, and that's because the display's not on all the time. And I don't usually look at the display when it's down, so you have to pick it up, turn the display on, then it's on, and I just find that that seems to be the better way for me. Also, the Series 5, the only other advantage it adds is a compass, and that's built into the iPhone. Should I ever need a compass aside from GPS, it's in the iPhone. So I don't really need it. I don't separate the two enough to justify that. So I kept the Series 4, and this is my main watch. Now, Apple does not sell the Series 4 Apple Watch. They sell a refurbished version, or you can buy it on places like Amazon and things like that. And this is still around $589 refurbished for the stainless steel and sapphire version. That's what this one is, and it's pretty heavy because it's steel all the way around and sapphire on the display. It makes it a little bit more expensive, and it's also the cellular version. So the cellular version is actually something I don't have activated, so I probably should have just bought the Wi-Fi version, but I don't use the cellular part. I don't find it worth paying an extra $10 a month or so for something I don't really use. So this is what I've been using lately, and let me unlock it for you here. Now, my Series 4 Apple Watch has held up incredibly well. It's stainless steel, like I mentioned, so I have no scuffs or scratches on it. Now, if I had the regular stainless steel, I had the first generation Apple Watch in stainless steel, that had scuffs and scratches all over the aluminum frame. Because this is the anodized black aluminum, or black stainless steel, whatever the coating is on it rather, it's held up really well. I don't have any scratches on it, and the display has 0 scratches on it because it's sapphire. So the sapphire display may not live up to some people's standards of sapphire, but it's held up well enough to prevent any scratches whatsoever, and it's been bumped against everything from brick walls to normal door jambs that are steel, and really the only thing that will scratch sapphire is either sapphire or diamond, so something on that level of hardness. So this is held up incredibly well. Now, battery life after a year and a half is pretty much the same. Now, there's no way to measure battery health, but I took this off the charger sometime this morning. I'm at 86%. I can easily get through a couple days with this, usually with no problem, with the exception of sometimes when it's using the decibel meter a lot. So I have that on the display to show me the actual volume in the room. You can see it's measuring how many decibels I'm speaking at, and it's somewhere around 60 to 70, and this is always running. So if I wanted to conserve battery, I could do that by switching to a different face, which isn't a problem. Just switch to one that's not using that all the time, and you'll conserve some power. So if that's ever a concern, I can switch, but usually it gets me through at least a day and a half, no problem whatsoever. And then I just continue using it. And one of the nice things about Apple Watch is with even watchOS 6.2, the latest version, at least it's on this, it's still super fast. Just like the day I got it, it's fast, everything loads quickly, and if I want to go into heart or ECG, just opens right up. You'll see it's measuring. It's not going to measure accurately because it's on my finger, but you've got all of those different options. And of course, things like camera, I can open this up. It opens on my iPhone over here. So if I want to take a remote picture, I can do that. Just hit the button and take a picture. And it's got that option, and everything just works really fast without a problem. So in general, this is still just as fast as a Series 5 Apple Watch for the most part. There's not really any differences, so I would highly recommend one if you can find one for a reasonable price. Now, of course, you can get a Series 5 for basically this price of the stainless steel Series 4, so it really just depends on what you want to do. But as far as the battery lasting over time, well, if it gets really bad, I could bring it to Apple, but it still lasts without a problem a year and a half later, and I would expect the battery to continue to last maybe another couple of years or a year or more without degrading significantly to the point where it needs to be replaced. Now, as far as using it for workouts and music, well, I don't really use it for any of those things. So I do use it for activities and notifications. In fact, notifications is probably what I use it for the most, but you can see here's monthly challenges and things, and April challenge, I earned that in 2018. So I don't use this a whole lot. I don't keep track of rings or anything like that. I use it more for notifications when I'm talking to people either on Twitter or on YouTube and things like that. And then I use it for weather and the UV index. I really don't use it for anything else other than for reminders and to just notify me of things. So the activity rings I definitely should use more and probably will in the future, but right now I don't use it a ton, but I should give it more of a chance as far as that goes. But in general, I think it's super fast. It's great for whatever you need, and maybe I should try some of the features more, but I find my phone is what I use primarily and this is secondary. So I know some people have it the other way around. It just depends on what you do. Now, the other thing is it has held up well underwater. I've gone swimming with it from time to time, and it just works fine. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. You can shower with these. They're waterproof, unlike the iPhone that's water resistant. These you can take in the water all the time. All of the buttons work fine. The microphones, the speakers, they're all working just like you would expect. And all of the sensors and everything else. I've had no problems with it, and I wear it just about every day. Occasionally, maybe on the weekends I won't, but every day when I'm doing videos, you often see me wearing this watch, and that's what I use. That's it for my Series 4 Apple Watch. If you'd like to know anything more about it or there's something I didn't answer, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to answer it. And also, if you'd like to get your hands on one of these watch bands, I'll link them in the description below so you can check them out for yourself. And hopefully I can find a good price on one of these watches for you as well. But I'll link all of that in the description. And if you'd like to get your hands on the wallpaper on the iPhone, I'll link that as well. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.